Today we'll talk about unemployment, and this goes with the second unit of academic economics about the public sector. Unemployment is a concern, obviously, because if you have large amounts of people out of work, that means that the economy might be in a downturn. People without jobs can't buy goods and services from the rest of us, and so it could lead to more unemployment, and it could lead to an unraveling of the economy. It also means that there's a misallocation of resources because you have pockets of people here and there that are without work and their labor isn't being utilized, so the economy isn't efficient as possible. So, first of all, what is unemployment? And a lot of people might think it's simply just those without jobs, but actually there's a little bit more to it than that. The unemployment rate is the number of people that want jobs, that are actually searching for them and have searched within the last 30 days, divided by the total amount of people in the labor force. And not everyone is included in the labor force. Those that are unemployed include those that are not minors, those that are beneath the age of 16 are not counted unemployed or part of the labor force. Those that are 16 and older are counted. Also, those that are available to work full-time within the past 30 days. Like I said before, they've been looking for work within the last month. And the exception, of course, would be people that are temporarily laid off, or there's some type of other situation where they still might have a job available for them but aren't working. So a temporary layoff, a strike, if they're in a union, for instance, they're on some type of extended sick leave or workers' compensation. So those are all things that aren't necessarily reasons why they would be included in unemployed. So basically, if you're 16 years of older and you've been looking for a job within the past month, then you are going to be included as unemployed. If you don't fall into those categories, then you're not included in the labor force at all. And so there might be people out there that want work but haven't bothered looking for it. And so often those are referred to as discouraged laborers. So they're discouraged from entering and looking for work within the marketplace. So that means whenever you hear the unemployment rate, there's a chance that it could be a few percentage points higher of people that are able to work but just aren't looking. There are four main types of unemployment. The first one I'll mention is something that some teenagers might experience because maybe they work at an ice cream place or a fast food joint that only has carry out. They don't have any type of dining in services. And so maybe during the winter months they close. And so that would be known as seasonal unemployment. So regular seasonal change in employment or labor demand. So in other words, the business doesn't want them at that time. So if you're someone that picks crops for a living, stuff that can't be done by a machine, obviously you're only going to be employed during the fall season, up to the fall season, not after that. So those are all examples of seasonal jobs. Structural unemployment is when whatever you're trained for, whatever you're educated in, doesn't match whatever the jobs are available. And so it arises from the mismatch of skills and job opportunities as the pattern of labor demand in the economy changes. Frictional is transitional unemployment due to people moving between jobs, people leaving one job and going to get another, as an example of frictional unemployment. These first three types are known as natural unemployment. They are always going to occur. They're going to happen because people make decisions and because there are some things out of our control, and they're going to happen routinely, like seasonal unemployment. That there's always going to be pockets of people that are trained in one area and they maybe need to move to go somewhere else to find better employment, so that's structural. And there's always going to be people leaving one job and going to another, so there's always going to be frictional unemployment. And these three are good for the economy because if you are a new business owner or a business owner that wants to expand and hire people, you're going to have to get them from somewhere, and you're going to get them from one of these three pockets of people. Then there's cyclical unemployment. This is the bad one. It's an unnatural type of unemployment. It is caused by a fall in aggregate demand, the total amount of demand for everything, leading into a decline in the gross domestic product and employment. So this typically happens during downturns or economic contractions or recessions. And so this happens because of pessimism, not because a business owner necessarily has to lay off people, but businesses are the same as people. Individual people have consumer expectations. oh, we know there's going to be a sale next week, so we're going to hold off buying, or oh, the economy is not doing well, so maybe we better not buy anything right now. Those are consumer expectations. Producer expectations are similar in that if producers see, oh, there's a recession going on, we better not expand. We better not start that third shift. We typically during this time of year hire a few more people. Maybe we shouldn't do that this time. And so that leads to higher unemployment. And so cyclical is the type that the economists advise the government to try to avoid with some type of stimulus spending, fiscal policy that Congress enacts, spending money, the Federal Reserve, the centralized banking system, lowering interest rates so that way people can take on more loans, and then more things are bought, and then more things are made, and more people will need to be hired. For the first three types, this, of course, is why we have unemployment insurance, in order to make sure that there's a safety net to catch people from falling into poverty while they're laid off for maybe a few months. The debate about unemployment insurance, though, is when does it discourage from people from looking for work? It's understandable if someone had a job for $60,000 a year and gets laid off. And during that first month, they only get offers from fast food joints or places that pay minimum wage. It's understandable why they would pass up those jobs and wait out. But the question is, how long should they wait out? And how low should they be willing to go? If you were making $60,000 a year and you turned down a job for $20,000, that's understandable. But what if you got a job offer for $50,000 a year? That's only $10,000 left. Should that person turn it down and wait? And if they do, that means they're still staying on taxpayer funded benefits of unemployment insurance. And so the question is, should there some kind of formula to make sure that people are weaned off of it? That maybe that first month you should take a job that's less than 10,000 than your previous one, and then maybe by your second month 20,000 less. But how low should we have those numbers go? Should we eventually encourage people to take minimum wage jobs who maybe made $70,000, $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 a year if they're on unemployment too long? But that, of course, is one of the debates involved in what is the best way to take care of people that are currently unemployed.